as many know, Earth and Spirit was leading some racial equity classes in 2020. Deb and Di, kind of through Earth and Spirit and their own sense of calling in that year, started what became listenlearnact.org. We've now used that phrase, Listen, Learn, Act, as the name of our group. It's a class, it's a movement, it's an ongoing conversation with the Earth and Spirit community about how we can listen to Black leaders, learn from them, and then third, find our own acting role in the racial justice work going on in Louisville. This is very Louisville specific. We are, make no bones about that. We were born out of the Breonna Taylor murder and have just evolved from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, the specific offering that we're talking about in this video is the 6-week, I hate to call it a course, but I'm not sure what the better word is, but a 6-week experience or movement, as I think you have said before, called Finding a Path Forward, Justice for All, Racial Disparity in Our Justice System. So
right.
these 6-week experiences are based on a document called A Path Forward. Can you say just a word about that document, where it came from, and what path forward it charts?
Yes, thank you. A Path Forward came to Louisville in 2020 as the result of a gathering of Black leaders in the aftermath of Breonna Taylor's murder, led by the Louisville Urban League and Sadiqa Reynolds, the executive director at that time. A Path Forward gathered all the nonprofits, churches in the Black community and tried as many as they could and tried to articulate for the city, here's a path forward. Here's a way we can move forward. And it dealt with housing, it dealt with policing, it dealt with incarceration, it dealt with mental health, it dealt with all the major issues that are inequitable in Louisville and need to be addressed. So A Path Forward did just that. It created a path forward. It's now 3 years old. So just yesterday, Deb, Di, and I talked with Lyndon Pryor, who is the CEO of the Urban League now. He's our first guest in our class, but he's going to gather all of us who signed that document 3 years ago to reconvene, re-envision what the path forward is in this new day. So we will take one piece of that, policing and incarceration. We're coming back to that. We've done that one before 3 years ago. We're doing it again because we have a new mayor, we have a new system, we have new questions. A lot of water has gone under the bridge. So that's why it's a movement and not just a class. It's not static.
Right. Well, and speaking of bridge, bad analogy and bad segue here, but kind of like painting the bridge, you never get done with painting the Golden Gate Bridge. You just start back at the beginning.
Start back over.
Right. There are, I think, 5 or 6 main planks of this document, and you just keep digging deeper into each one at a time.
Absolutely.
And so, what exactly happens in these sessions? You said that you'll learn from a Black leader, and yes. So what does these are 90 minutes once a week for 6 weeks. Tell us just a little bit more about an experience someone can expect.
Great. Yes. First of all, it's at the barn at the Earth and Spirit World Headquarters, as I like to say, which is such a wonderful place. When we gather there, the bell rings, and it just for me is a great gathering space. We've got 38 signed up already and hope to have more. We'll have a room full of people who are, frankly, mostly my age and who are activists, meditation people who want to connect. So we will hear from a Black leader. They will come to us. We'll sit and talk to them for an hour. Oftentimes they'll stay for the whole hour and a half, but sometimes they'll leave, and that gives us a chance to debrief and think about what it is that's ours to do. What did we hear? What's new information for us? What reinforces old things we've heard before? And where are we feeling nudged, led? What's our role in this? So each week is dynamic. It builds in some ways builds on the week before, but in other ways stands alone because it'll be a different speaker, a little bit different angle, Lyndon Pryor will talk about the Urban League. Other people will talk about bail bond and cash bail. Others will talk about the effects of Keturah Heron will be there. Someone from Game Changers, Jane Polk from the Crisis Call Prevention Center will be there. These are folks who are on the front line. So you're going to hear from frontline Black leaders about the issues related to policing and incarceration in Louisville in 2023.
I want to pick up on a phrase I think I heard you mention, something like activist meditators, and kind of two things strike me about that. One is more generally that at the Earth and Spirit Center, we're not just about teaching mindfulness and meditation to bliss out on your own cushion in the comfort of your own home. We're about trying to transform lives through these practices such that folks do go out into the community and become transformative in the ways that they've been transformed. And I think more specifically, my understanding of this experience is not just that we're sitting at the feet of Black leaders and learning things that we very much need to learn as residents of this city. It's possible to live in a place for a long time and never see it, or never see certain parts of it and the dynamics. Right. But this isn't just about learning. This is also about the acting part of Listen, Learn, Act. Can you say just a word about what kinds of actions have spun off of these experiences? I know you may not know what that looks like for this upcoming experience, but in the past, I know this group has gone out and done things as a result of this learning. Can you say a little bit about that?
Sure. We had one just last weekend. We began to hear about the environment in West Louisville and the negative air environment and the smells and such. And as a result, we tapped our beloved colleague, Tim Darce, and said, would you lead us on an environmental justice tour? We put 54 people on a bus last Saturday, many of whom had never been to Rubbertown, never smelled those smells or seen the Morris Foreman sewer treatment plant. It's very, very educational, eye-opening, and helps inform the larger work that we do. Other time, the semester that the class that we led on schools and the education deficit. We had one of the school board members there who, at the end of the class, said, "If y'all really want to do something, here's a challenge. You can become the PTA for a West End school." And we did that for a year and continue to have a relationship with that school.
That is so amazing.
It was. We don't know what it will be this time, but there'll be something. And that's the fun of this class. It's not scripted. It's not like Deb and Di and I have a plan of where we're trying to take the class. We're with the class, and then from that, action emerges.
Well, it's so exciting, and I continue to be thrilled and excited about it, even as we've been at it several years now, and the need is still great, and so I'm very happy that y'all are still willing to invite folks into these learning opportunities and these action opportunities. So once again, the series is Listen, Learn, Act. The particular experience this fall is called Finding a Path Forward, Justice for All, Racial Disparity in Our Justice System. Folks can learn more on our website, earthandspiritcenter.org. We'll have a link to the particular webpage for this experience connected to this video. It starts on October 3rd. And these are Tuesday morning sessions from 10 to 11:30 for 6 weeks. And I suppose I should also say, to wrap things up here, the normal cost for something like this would be well north of $140, $150, but we make these available absolutely for free. And we invite folks to make donations if they wish, but we think this is so important, and we have some funding support to help us offer these from Metro government and other sources, that it's possible to take this at no cost at all, right?
That's right.
Well, Joe, thank you again, and also to Debbie and Di for your great work. Really looking forward to the next installment of the Listen, Learn, Act, Finding the Path Forward series. Thank you.
I really hope folks will come.